And in his speech at the United Nations, Donald Trump claimed his approval ratings are at an all-time high. But the latest polls tell a different story. The American president's approval ratings are in a steady decline. That's what they say. According to the latest Reuters Ipsos poll, Trump's approval ratings are down to 41%. This is 6% lower compared to what it was on his inauguration day and 1% down from the poll conducted earlier this month. Now, not just this, all polls conducted in the month of September show the similar trend. We studied 7 polls conducted this month. Donald Trump's approval ratings in all of these polls ranges from 39 to 46%. That is lower than what it was when his term started. The highest approval rating is given by Fox News, that's at 46%. But that too is lower than what it was when he began his second term. As we dive deeper into the data, the party-wise preference on specific issues paints a different picture. On most of the issues, Republicans surge ahead of Democrats. More Americans trust Republicans when it comes to handling issues such as crime, immigration, foreign conflicts, economy, gun control, political extremism, and corruption. Democrats maintain the lead over Republicans on issues such as respect for democracy, healthcare, women's rights, and the environment. US President claims highest approval number. However, the numbers really do tell a different story. But beyond the claims and the counterclaims, the US is heading towards a midterm election where both the parties will fight for the control of the House. The verdict in the midterms will be the first big referendum on Donald Trump since his re-election. All right, for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani is joining us live on the phone line from New York. Susan, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, as I mentioned here, Donald Trump claims his approval ratings are at the highest they've been. Numbers, though, do not support his claims. What do you have to say?
Yeah, this new Gallup poll that just was conducted recently really shows that most Americans who were polled are concerned about the economy. And the biggest dip from the last Gallup poll, 31% was among Republicans, actually. Still, President Trump's approval rating is higher than it was in January, but nonetheless, this may be concerning, as you mentioned, notably because you have the midterm elections coming up, and you see that the Republicans are already trying to rally to keep a hold of Congress and Senate with its very thin majority.
Right, Susan, of course, also, as I mentioned in the report, there are a number of issues where, of course, that's where the difference emerges and how the Democrats are taking lead as well. That's healthcare, women's rights. On all of these issues, and Donald Trump, of course, the midterm elections, that will be the referendum. What are things looking like on ground?
The economy really plays the majority of the role in these polls. There is the issue of women's rights, but that's very fringe. It's usually among Democrats. And we really haven't seen a change in the policies of the Trump administration when it comes to women. But also there's the issue of immigration. When it comes to immigration, President Trump is actually polling a lot better, month by month, at least in September, better than August. But then again, I'm telling you, the tariffs, the economy, inflation, people are really continue to feel the pinch, and that was one of the reasons they elected Donald Trump. And I think that the reason you see such a big dip is because of somewhat of a disappointment that 8 months on, their lives haven't really changed, and they're more even concerned now.